Good morning, good morning. We are in the tarot study of the High Priestess. So I'll go through these real quick. We have the original Rider-Waite, the Wandering Star. I love her. Tarot of the Abyss. I love this whole deck. Wildwood Tarot. They call her the Seer. Light Seers Tarot. Golden Art Nouveau. Star Tarot, Good Tarot, Tarot of the Divine, just laid back, reading a book. You never know the power that hides within. And the Mystical Moments Tarot. Again, what I like about a few of these, it's like this sneaky power. Like she just seems like this, like even back in that time period, like she would just seem like a humble, maybe even a housewife that you just wouldn't, like you would just suspect just ordinary, but she is so much more than ordinary, right? She's got this hidden like woo, and I don't mean woo woo, but I mean woo, and you know woo woo in its own sense, but just like this quiet serenity, that quiet serenity that comes with this ancient wisdom and empowerment of coming home to self and really realizing how this speck that you are in the midst of the sea of this universe and the power that it holds, and that you are able to be a part of that. Okay, but I digress. Okay, so there's our cards, and then those are all the High Priestesses cards that I have. And if you're in our Facebook group, which is free by the way, you can also share any of the High Priestess cards that you have. I would love to see any others. That would be amazing. Okay, today we are going to read from the Holistic Tarot. Look at this monster of a book. I listened to this however many years ago. But so again, it's been a while. So everything that I read with you guys just feels new. Because I was listening to all of these when I first started. Okay. Let's dive in. Oh, and here's what I like about this book is it always has like the elements and the astrological associations and what is that? Just some keywords there. Okay. Elements. The High Priestess is connected to the element of water. Also in review, just in review. So we've gone over the Fool, which is the card 0. Then we've gone over the Magician, which is card 1. And now we're in the High Priestess, which is card 2. So it's the third card, but number 2. Keywords: intuition, clairvoyance, premonition, perceptivity. The priestess who wears a blue veil sits between two pillars, one dark and one light. Let's see, just out of curiosity. It's not too long. It's definitely not as long as the other one, 78 Degrees of Wisdom. All right. The letters B and J on the pillars are reminiscent of Solomon's temple. The J on the right is for Jachin, which means he shall establish. And the B on the left is Boaz, for in it is strength. So there, that goes a little deeper than any of the other books that we've listened to. And it says Jachin as far as Jachin, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I could totally be mistaken. In the other books, I thought it was Jakim, but I could be wrong. But that's interesting. I don't know. I like these different little discrepancies or like just differences, but she goes further in saying how the J on the right for Jachin, which means he shall establish. So just thinking about that and like how that can pertain to you in your practice. What are you establishing in your daily practice? B on the left for Boaz, for in it is strength, establishing who you are in all of this, in your journey, and the strength in that, like learning who you are, establishing, like planting firmly in that, and the strength in that. And yes, I'm being more in my head today with this, but it's, whatever. Welcome. There is a Latin cross fixed on her chest, and her head is adorned with a crown containing 3 phases of the moon, waxing, full, and waning, representing the maiden, the mother, and the crone. Behind her is a curtain printed with pomegranates. At her feet is a waxing crescent moon, waiting in the priestess's gown, which seems to have transformed to water. She holds a scroll with the word Torah. Behind the priestess is a body of calm water. Oh, sorry. Just wanted to show you one more time. There's the card there. Okay. The High Priestess. In many cards of the major arcana, a pool of water is depicted. The star key. Sorry, there she's listing different like keys, like key 2, key 14, key 17, key 18, and at blah 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 blah. Which the moon judgment, which represents the submergence of our. Okay, so they're just. I should just skip the key things and just say. Okay, in many cards of the major arcana, a pool of water is depicted. Temperance, star, the moon. Judgment, which represents the submergence of or emergence from varying levels of consciousness. The pool can also denote the unconscious in connection to the collective unconscious. In the High Priestess, the priestess's gown transforms seamlessly into a pool, indicating an unbroken link and interchange with the unconscious. The High Priestess is the card of spirituality, psychic energy, and intuition. The priestess calls to mind Isis, patroness of nature and magic, the keeper of science, wisdom, and knowledge. She conveys to the seeker that the seeker is one with power, unconscious knowledge, and that the seeker must activate intuition to retrieve that knowledge. In contrast, the magician is creation in the outer sphere. The High Priestess is a creation in the inner sphere. Intuition, psyche. The word Torah, written on her scroll, indicates the body of law that governs the spiritual and physical universe, not unlike the concept of Dharma depicted in the Wheel of Fortune. In a psychological method of attribution, the High Priestess is associated with memory, the maintaining and processing of information within. I need some support in that, so High Priestess, please help me retain all this information. She represents how we encode, store, retrieve our experiences. And just again, another side note here, because my brain's just going today. The High Priestess to me is like, it's like who we strive to be, like how she is sitting there in her power, and balanced, and in a balanced way, like such, like her, it feels like to me, like it feels like she's got her life kind of like she's finally figured out, like she's come to terms with who she is in all the facets of that meaning, like in a good way, not like come to terms who ain't, but you know what I mean. And then, and found a way to like have this beautiful balance of this, the human life and spiritual life, the mundane and the magical. This just beautiful balance. It just feels like she is at peace and serenity and contentment with who she is and the life that she is living, and that she knows the power that lies within her, how magical she is in the world. And yet she sits in it in such like this beautiful, understated And I know I'm saying beautiful understated way when she's got that crown on her head and all of that, but still it's like this softness. I like that. Okay. Carry on. As you're telling me. It's also about duality. There is a flux to the matter at hand. There are potent, recessive, unseen, or feminine forces at play. The seeker is cautioned to keep sensitive information secret for now. Do not tell others yet. Secrecy abounds. The high priestess brings spiritual feminine energy with slight sexual overtones. Meow, meow. The duality is seen in the synchronous meaning to Torah, which in Japanese means tiger. Did not know that. The word Torah can be used as a coded message indicating attack. Ooh. There is a crouching tiger essence to the, see that quiet hidden power, to the high priestess. While she appears sitting calm and serene, she is in fact prepared to advance if needed at any moment. If key one, I don't know why I wish she wouldn't keep doing that. Key one, just tell us about key one. I think key one is the magician. I could be wrong. Let me I know that she mentioned it before. Yep, the magician. I wish she would just say the magician. If the magician is the theological unity, then the high priestess represents the theological binary. The number of woman, the mother of society. If the card appears in a woman's reading, she is most likely a physically attractive woman and the breathtaking, exotic, unique, or striking kind of beauty. Compare the Empress indicates down-to-earth beauty. The waxing moon of the high priestess symbolizes attraction, potency, and development. Note that both the high priestess and the empress feature pomegranates, which was believed to be first cultivated by the Phoenicians and has come to represent fertility, love, and marriage. Pomegranates were also considered a sacred fruit to the ancient Israelites and represented wisdom. In Christian mythos, pomegranates represent the passion of Christ. Some contend that the high priestess is based on Pope Joan, a female pope who reigned during the Middle Ages. The legend of Pope Joan first appeared in 13th century chronicles, calling her a highly educated and spiritual woman who disguised herself as a man and rose up the church hierarchy to become a pope. Thus, a modern interpretation of the high priestess is of an accomplished woman who strives to excel in a male-dominated institution. In a reading for a female or for any individual who identifies more strongly with yin energy, the high priestess might represent the command of personal femininity over the seeker's yang or male dominant setting. The Hierophant is about the pedagogy. My pronunciation is always waxing and waning, of wisdom and divine knowledge, while the high priestess is associated with the mystical or metaphysical possession of wisdom and divine knowledge. The Hierophant denotes ecclesiastical authority. The high priestess suggests an authority of natural, universal, or cosmic law. The two pillars of contrasting colors seem connected to the two sphinx of contrasting colors in the chariot. Some connect that recurring theme between the two cards to suggest a relationship. Key 2. The high priestess is the secret, the divine knowledge, and the chariot is the carrier of that secret, manifesting divine knowledge through action. The practical application in reading a dark light pillars of the High Priestess represent the use of the seeker's ability of intuition and premonition to become the architect of the seeker's own destiny, while the Chariot's dark and light Sphinxes represent the use of discipline and audacity to become the commander general of the seeker's destiny. The High Priestess suggests secrets that a person is withholding. The moon represents secrets of the natural world. The High Priestess represents, and they're talking about whenever I say the moon, that means the moon card. The High Priestess represents personal mystery. The moon card represents physical or even physiological mystery. The High Priestess denotes personal concealment, concealed personal power, or concealed knowledge, while the moon denotes concealed environmental forces at play in a situation that controls the tides in a dramatic, significant way, though its power remains unseen and unnoticed. The element of water governs this card. Attributions associated with water will represent the external forces at play in the seeker situation. In the High Priestess, yin energy is dominant. The number 2 may be relevant. Note that the High Priestess card is considered by many to be one of the most difficult cards to interpret. The card itself is shrouded in mystery, and therefore its meaning will vary widely from practitioner to practitioner. Intensive study of this card is recommended to the serious practitioner so that a personal bond and understanding can be formed. All right, there we go. That's it. See, not nearly as long as that other one, but still, all of these books are very relevant, no matter how short or how long. And this is medium length, I would say. All right, thank you guys so much for diving in with me. I appreciate it. I just love going in depth with these cards over and over and over again. You cannot unclothe these cards enough and still get to the nakedness of them or the truth of them, or and I know that sounds weird, because there's always a new truth. It's just like our journeys. Our journeys are constantly evolving and changing and being tweaked and honing. We are being honed like these fine instruments, and so are these cards within our journeys. They change as we change, right? So it's important to keep diving in over and over and over again and learning and loving on them. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Much love.